Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Amber Propp Designs. Today I wanted to go through something a little different with you that I created. It is a square paint pour. If you haven't seen this before, this is the first one I did, and I'm going to go over all the steps with you guys. So all the mixtures you're going to need. So you're going to need your cups, your paint, flow trowel, and you're also going to need a funnel. Today I am choosing to play with 5 colors. Usually I use Artist Loft paint, but today I have decided to kind of go with some of the pre-mixed paints I already had. They are 100% acrylic. If you have a deluxe paint store in your town, you can get all of these products from there. I love going in there because sometimes they will have mist tints that they still do have to sell, and you can get them at a really good discount. I mix them partially the same. I still use flow trowel, a little bit of water, and I mix them just so we have enough fluidity in there. We don't want it to be too thin or too thick. So today I have just my basic colors here of blue, yellow, and I have kind of a different color here that I wanted to try. It's almost like a gray blue, which you can make at home. I have done it. Just slowly have a nice gray and add a little bit of blue to find that nice color that you're looking for. I have pink, which this pink is a very dominant color, so it might take over, so we'll see how we want to mix that. And this is almost a white gray. So normally on a fluid pour we would put a base down. For this particular painting, I want it to hold and stick where I pour the paint. So I'm going to take my little funnel here and just set it right down onto the canvas. I want to make sure that it has suction there. I don't want to have anything coming out. So for the middle, I'm going to just put a little bit of paint in at one time. I'm not going to lift that up. I want to make sure I have a steady hand that's holding that suction down. I'm not going to fill everything up right away. Like I said, I just want a little bit in there at a time. And you can use any colors that you wanted to do. The reason why I'm doing more contrast colors is because I want to be able to see the lines, the different sections in that previous painting. If you're using similar colors, it could work, but you might not be able to see the lines as well. So I'm going to just slightly lift to let a little bit of paint out and press back down and drag. I'm going to drag just a little bit at a time to the side and then to start to move up. Now the pattern that I'm going to be making, as I said, is a square. Especially with the center, we don't want to have too much paint in there at once. If we move the funnel at an angle, it's going to let that paint out. So we want to make sure that we are very adamant on how we're moving this funnel. Making sure that we have the perfect amount of suction to the canvas. Because we are also dragging the paint, we want to have colors that complement each other instead of mudding together. As you know, with paint pouring, certain colors do not mix well together. And so we want to make sure that these colors are going to stay separate, and if they do mix, that they're going to look really well and complementary to each other. So I pretty much am doing the same thing over and over. Just try not to lift that funnel. And I'm going to move forward in the video, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. As I said, if you have any questions, or if you are going to do this, I'd really love to see the colors you used, how it worked out for you. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that little bell. You'll be the first person to see all the new videos that I have coming out. And if you'd also like to subscribe to Amber Propp Designs on Instagram or Facebook, you can tag me if you've done this before. I'd love to see your guys' results. So once I'm done and I have no more paint in there, you want to do the same thing as you did. You just keep adding a little at a time. You don't want to overpower your funnel because then you're not going to have that control. It might start to want to lift up and have too much suction. The reason why I came up with this video is because I love fluid painting and I'm always looking for different ways, different things to come up with. And it's so hard to get any other shape than a circle. And so I thought, okay, how can we kind of expand? How can we think out of the box with our pouring? What would be different? There's a lot of amazing sites out there, a lot of amazing artists that come up with different ideas, so I just really wanted to try this. And luckily, I was able to have a little more control with this painting, and so that was really exciting that I was able to create a square. I've also done, you know, you can do a triangle, you can do rectangle, octagon, anything that kind of, it doesn't limit what you can do with this technique, which is amazing. If you are going to be looking for any of the paint tools or anything that I'm using today, I have an Amazon store that you can go and check everything out. Will be linked in the description below. I do get a little kickback from it, which helps me create all these videos for you guys at no additional cost. So it is much appreciated to be supporting other artists. I can't thank you enough for everyone who's done that so far. So because I didn't have an exact pinpoint of my middle, that's okay. I'm not actually too concerned about it because it was kind of perfect how it laid out to go over the edges here. So what I'm going to do is actually just fill my funnel back up and go the opposite way. Another thing, tip or trick to kind of learn from, because I was holding my funnel from the big top, I started to lose a bit of control here. And so you can see that how instead of lines, it started glooping. And that's the whole point of keeping that on point there, as close to the canvas as possible so you don't have that. So I'm actually glad that that did happen and that I did make that mistake. So you can kind of see it for yourself beforehand. What happens if you let it off too quickly. So in the other paint pour that I didn't tilt or anything like that because I really don't want it to lose its shape. So over here you can see there's some pieces that could use some paint. All I'm going to do is just slowly move my funnel on it and do a straight line. Same with over here. So I'm really excited to show you guys the results once it's done. It's going to be awesome, just like that other painting. I'm excited that I kind of came up with this only because there's just so much more that you can do now. I just love doing new techniques. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'm definitely here to help. And if you, once again, wanted to go onto my site, we have canvases, anything like that on Amazon. I get that little kickback. And also, if you could subscribe, I would truly appreciate it. I love my YouTube family. They've been so supportive, and I can't thank everyone enough for everything that they have contributed to the channel as well. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy this video. I am very excited, and I'd love to know what you guys think. Here is the finished product. It is dry. Took a few days, but it is finished. You can see all the outlines with the funnel that we went through, better than that first one that I showed you in the beginning. Hope you enjoy, and if you do create one, tag me at Amber Propp Designs. I'd love to see what you guys come up with.